I wanted to add a little update at the beginning of the video because between the time when I filmed this video and the time I was able to edit it and post it, MRE Mountain changed their website and their business model. It's a big improvement, and now you can actually order your rations straight from the website without having to go to the eBay store. I was originally going to scrap this whole video, but then I realized it still is a good way to introduce MRE Mountain to people who don't know them, and a lot of the information is still good. Since the new website was just rolled out recently, apparently they're still doing a lot of their business through the eBay store. And a lot of the intangibles like customer service still remain the same. I wanted to talk today about MRE Mountain, another great resource for finding MREs and international rations. And the first thing I want to mention is that I've seen quite a few people mention MRE Mountain as a great resource, but I had never actually done business with them myself. So I figured I'd try them out. And generally, when I've done reviews of companies or resources, they've actually gotten in touch with me first and sent me samples to review. And while this is a very common practice in reviewing, I have taken some heat for being either a sellout or, at the least, being influenced by the fact that I have free product. I've always tried my best to give fair reviews, and I think I've done a pretty good job of that, but it is a good point. It is hard to not be influenced by the fact that somebody's sending you free stuff. So since I've never dealt with MRE Mountain before, I decided to make a purchase on my own so that I could give a completely independent and honest review. With all that being said, MRE Mountain can be found at mremountain.com, and that website does have a lot of information on their products and the company, but the store itself is actually run through eBay. And I'll put links down below to both the website and the eBay store. So there was a time not too long ago when it was actually pretty hard to find US MREs, not even to mention international rations. Those are almost impossible to find. But now that the community has grown so much, there are a lot more resources, and all the stuff tends to be a lot easier to find, and in many cases a lot cheaper than it used to be. But overall, military rations are still a pretty expensive thing to buy. So the first thing I want to say about MRE Mountain's store on eBay is that, at least currently, they have a great variety of product there. In addition to standard US MREs, they also have quite a few other US rations available, including meal cold weather, some UGR trays, which are pretty rare, and even some 1980s era long-range patrol rations. And as far as international rations, a quick look at their current stock shows that they have stuff from Germany, Kazakhstan, Singapore, the Czech Republic, Poland, Lithuania, Spain, Denmark, Italy, France, Russia, and Great Britain. And that's a pretty awesome collection right there. Like I said, it wasn't that long ago that if you wanted to buy some of these international rations, it was quite a headache. You had to jump through a lot of hoops. You had to try to contact individuals. A lot of times you have to make trades. You have to deal with very high shipping costs, usually international shipping costs, not to mention the problems with customs. So to be able to have all the stuff right at your fingertips on eBay is quite a convenience. As far as prices, they seem to be pretty fair. International rations are still a pretty expensive thing to buy, and there aren't any standardized prices out there. But from what I can see, the prices that they have at MRE Mountain are pretty fair. And the shipping on most of the international rations runs between $10 and $12, which also isn't bad at all. For my first order with the company, I decided to just keep it simple and go with the standard US MRE. And they do seem to have a lot of menus in stock. I'm sure the stock is constantly changing as people are buying the ones they have and they're getting new ones in. But the current price for the US MREs is $8.99 with $7 shipping. So that means you're paying about $16 for an MRE. That may seem kind of high, but you have to remember shipping costs are really what kill you. $8.99, I don't think that's bad at all for an MRE. A single MRE, obviously if you're buying by the case, you expect to get them a lot less than that. But if you're buying one MRE, $9 isn't a heck of a lot to pay. And they do use priority shipping, so you're definitely not getting gouged with the $7 shipping price. I believe it's going to actually cost them more to ship that than $7. So as far as my personal experience with MRE Mountain, I can't really complain too much about this MRE. It seems to be in great shape. But there are a few things I do want to mention. First off, like I mentioned, they do use priority. This is priority mail today, and it came in a padded envelope, which isn't a heck of a lot of protection for an MRE, but it also was wrapped in a second envelope inside, so it had the protection of two padded envelopes. And I don't know, I haven't ordered any international rations, but I have a feeling those probably would come in boxes. And I certainly don't have any complaints about the shipping speed. I ordered it pretty late on September 6th, and I received it on September 9th. So from ordering to getting it in my hands, it really just took about 2 days. And that's why you're paying the priority shipping price. Good customer service involves having a good product to start with, having good communication, and also safe and quick shipping. And MRE Mountain seems to do all that pretty well. I wouldn't exactly call this a complaint, but the one thing I do want to mention about this MRE purchase is, and this is going to get a little bit technical, the eBay listing says 2018 U.S. military meals ready to eat. Now, obviously, we're still in 2017, so this obviously can't be from 2018, but they are trying to tell you just how fresh this is. Now, I've always recommended eBay as the best place to get MREs, but in the old days, it was pretty tough to know if you were going to get what you thought you were getting or what you were paying for. A lot of people will put up listings for fresh or new MREs, and they could have been anywhere from 10 to 20 years old. I think the ration review community has developed to such a point that a lot of people are a lot more well-informed and they know what they're looking for. And I think the sellers are responding to that. They're either more well-informed themselves, or they're realizing that people are, and they're not going to get the wool pulled over their eyes. So obviously seeing 2018 or brand new in a title is going to catch your eye as being something fresh. But after that, you're going to want to check the description. And the description for this one did say that the MREs have a March 2018 inspection date. Obviously, an inspection date isn't the same as a packing date. It's actually 3 years after the packing date, which would mean that the ones in the listing would be from March 2015. And in my opinion, that's still very fresh. I don't have any complaints about getting an MRE from 2015. I wouldn't mind if they didn't insinuate that it was newer than that. But at least they do mention in the description that the March 2018 is the inspection date and not the packing date. And just a couple final things I want to mention is that they apparently only ship to the US. That's something to keep in mind. And they do offer combined shipping. I'm not exactly sure how it works, but it does say in the description that they have combined shipping. And they also say freebies with every order. So when I opened up my MRE, in addition, I also had this Squincher Zero strawberry lemonade and a pack of military energy gum, Arctic Mint. I'm guessing the bigger the order, the more and cooler freebies you're going to get, but it's a nice touch. Throw in a couple things for free. So in closing, if you're looking for US MREs, other US rations, or any kind of international rations, I would definitely recommend checking out MREmountain.com and their eBay store, MRE Mountain. Thank you for watching.